Good afternoon. We're continuing our series of profiles of the money referendum questions on the statewide Rhode Island election ballot, the 4 questions that seek bond money from voters to pay for various projects. Today, question 7, seeking $53 million for clean water, open space, and healthy communities projects. Janet Coit is director of the Rhode Island Department of Environmental Management. The money, if approved by voters, would be channeled to 7 specific project areas. And Ms. Coit is here today after a stop earlier today that focused on one of those areas, the brownfield part. Where were you this morning, and what's that all about?
We were in Bristol at Massaco. It was formerly Kaiser Aluminum, and before that a rubber company, but an old mill that's being now cleaned up and redeveloped and used for a bunch of new companies. And
you obviously have identified a number of other brownfield sites that this money, if the voters say yes, will be used to help clean up.
There's former industrial sites in every community in Rhode Island, and this fund, for the first time, the state would have a pot of money, $5 million, to help clean up and restore and put those properties back into economic use.
$5 million of the total sought would be for that project. We have a list of some of the examples. There are 7. Here are 4. Flood prevention, $3 million. Farmland acquisition, $3 million. Clean water projects, $20 million. This is kind of a broad list. The previous bond issues, I think, dealt with just acquiring open space, but you're doing a lot of other things.
Right. This bond issue it's really a healthy communities bond, and it has put all together a number of programs like the clean water financing, which is for building infrastructure to clean up wastewater and to clean and filter stormwater. But it's all put together in one large package for healthy communities. 2
of the 7 deal with Roger Williams Park.
They do. Those are both for the park and for the zoo. Some new exhibits, new environmental education, and modernization of the zoo facilities.
I am not aware of any organized opposition to approval of this bond issue. I think you're getting the word out with events like the one you were at this morning.
That's good.
And we've done this with all of the money bond issue questions. The actual cost, if you look at your ballot, it'll say $53 million is what's being sought. That's the principal. With the interest, the total cost to Rhode Island taxpayers over time will be $77,996,655. If voters say yes to this bond issue, the state will go to the bond market, seek money from investors, but then ultimately taxpayers will have to pay it back. But I think they stretch that over 20, 25 years, that sort of thing.
They do, and these are bonds for capital investments, so that kind of a period makes sense. They also promote economic development, so they end up raising money that comes back to the state too, whether that's for farming or fishing, or like the brownfields redevelopment.
And we thank you for outlining this for us. Question 7, Janet Coit, Director of the Rhode Island Department of Environmental Management.
Thank you, Frank.
Now.